So, good morning, everyone. We are the Group 12, and today we're going to discuss our MA3, which focuses on the point of sales. So, before we begin, I'm going to discuss the needed requirements for our code. So, firstly, the program must record the following transaction details when a customer buys items. The first one will be the product ID, then product description, quantity, item price, transaction ID, and lastly, the transaction date. Secondly, the program should ask for the following additional information: the customer name, address, contact number, type of customer, type of payment, and the transaction date. And the most needed would be it must implement the six principles of OOP in our solution. And lastly, every sales transaction should be saved in a sales trend text file and the customer information in a cost info text file. All the reports, when generated, should be saved in the following text files: the cost retail, the cost reg, and the sales ID. So now we're gonna discuss the implementation of OOP in our code.
Encapsulation. Encapsulation is the building of data with the methods that operate on that data. It restricts direct access to some of the object's components, which can prevent the accidental modification of the data. For the implementation in code, classes and access modifiers. The code uses classes to encapsulate data and methods. For example, the customer product, transaction, and payment classes all have private member variables and public methods. Encapsulation of data. The customer class encapsulates customer details and provides public getter methods to access these details. This ensures that the details are protected and can only be accessed or modified through defined methods. And for the validation and input handling, the function isValidName and getValidCustomerName encapsulate the logic for validating user input, ensuring that only valid data is processed. For the isValidName function, this function loops through each character in the string str and checks if each character is either an alphabetic character or a space. The function returns false if all characters pass the check, and it returns true if it's true. For the getValidCustomerName function, this function repeatedly prompts the user for a customer name until a valid name is entered. It uses isValidName function to validate the input. If the input is not valid, it displays an error message and prompts the user to try again. Once a valid name is entered, then it will return to a valid.
Inheritance is a mechanism where a new class inherits properties and behavior methods from an existing class. For the implementation in the code, we have the abstract base class. The product class serves as an abstract base class. It is designed to be a base class for different types of products that might be implemented in the future. This is indicated by the virtual destructor and other virtual methods.
Polymorphism. Polymorphism allows methods to do different things based on the objects it is acting upon even though they are shared the same name. Implementation in this code. Virtual function. The product class virtual methods which can overridden into derived classes. This allows different product types to have different implementation of the same method. For example, different product types can have different pricing or descriptions. Using base class pointers. The transaction class stores pointers to product objects. This allows it to handle different types of products polymorphically. Abstraction. Abstraction involves hiding the complex implementation details and showing only the necessary features of an object. Implementation in the code. The product class serves as abstract presentation of a product, focusing on essential attributes like description, price, stock quantity, and reorder point without exposing underlying complexities. The product class encapsulation attributes like description, price, stock quantity, and reorder point. The public methods get price, get description, get ID, get stock quantity, get reorder point, reduce stock quantity, set reorder point, and needs replenishment provides an interface to interact with these attributes without exposing the underlying implementation details. User interaction functions like get valid customer's name hide the complexity of the input validation from the user. The getValid customer name functions abstracts the process of the validating a customer name. The user only interacts with a simple interface to enter their name, while the function handles the complexity of ensuring the input is valid using the isValidName function.
So now, we're gonna proceed to the classes and objects. Classes are blueprints for creating objects, defining their properties and behaviors, while object is a fundamental unit of abstraction that represents a real-world entity or concept. It is an instance of a class, which is a blueprint defining the characteristics and behaviors that all instances of that class will have. So for the customer class, its attributes, name, address, contact number, and customer type store basic details of a customer. For the constructor, it initializes the customer object with provided details. Accessor methods. Get name, get address, get contact number, and get customer type provide read-only access to provide member variables. This save customer info. It writes customer information to a file, the cost retail text file, or the cost info text file based on the customer type, retail or regular. This method demonstrates encapsulation by hiding file handling details and ensuring the data integrity. For its objects, it will be the name, address, contact number, and the customer type. For the product class, its attributes is the ID, description, price, stock quantity, and order point represent essential attributes of a product. For its constructor, it initializes the product object with description, price, stock quantity, and reorder point. It automatically generates a unique ID. The virtual destructor ensures proper cleanup of resources in derived classes. Proto methods get price and get description are overridden in derived classes to provide polymorphic behavior. Utility methods reduce stock quantity, set order point, and need replenishment provide functionality to manage stock and determine if the product needs replenishment. For its objects, it will be the ID, the description, price, stock quantity, and the reorder point. Let's proceed to the payment class. Its static methods, the calculate discount, calculate cash discount, calculate regular down payment, calculate retail down payment, and calculate retail interest are static methods used for payment calculations. Its purpose provides encapsulated functionality for calculating discounts, down payments, and installment interest based on transaction, subtotal, or total amount. Its usage. These methods are called directly using the class name, payment method name, without requiring an instance of the payment class, demonstrating static polymorphism. And lastly is the transaction class. Its attributes transaction ID, transaction date, item, subtotal, total amount, discount, cash discount, down payment, installment payments, customer, is cash payment, is installment term, and is nullified, stored various details related to a transaction. Its constructor initializes the transaction with a date and a customer, generates a unique transaction ID. Its methods. The add item. It adds a product and its quantity to the transaction. Calculate totals. Compute subtotal discount, total amount, cash discounts, down payment, and installment payments based on customer type and payment method. Log transaction. Log transaction details to a file, the sales text file. Calculate installment payments. It computes monthly installment payments if the transaction is an installment sale. Display summary. Prints a summary of the transaction including customer details, product details, and financial summary. Then de-nullify transaction. It marks the transaction as nullified. So that is it for our presentation. Thank you for watching.